Welcome to California RV Specialists. We're an independent repair shop in Lodi, California. In between repairing units on the lot and helping customers in our storefront, we also help people just like you via phone and emails. You may have seen our series, What's in the Shop? Well, now we're sharing What's in the Box. We're pulling from our email and voicemail files and responding in this video format. Let's see what we received today.
Hey everybody, welcome to What's in the Box. My name is Dustin.
And I'm Zach.
And so let's go see what's in the box.
So it looks like today we have an email states from Lee. We have a 2021 F-350 towing a 2018 Reflection 33.7 RLS. The problem is somewhere there is a short. I don't know if it's in the trailer or truck. It keeps popping the 30 amp fuse in the truck that powers the trailer running lights. It will not pop the fuse just sitting there. I've wiggled every wire I could reach, disconnected the rear view camera, which runs off the lights. On our last trip, it didn't pop the fuse for over 250 miles when plugged into the bed connector.
Wow.
When we left the campground, I was connected to the bumper connector and the 30 amp fuse popped as soon as we left the campground. Turn signals work, stop lights work. Anyway, any idea where I might look next? Stay safe, Lee. So first thing I want to jump on this guy is I've actually replied to him via email, gave him quite a bit of stuff to follow through with. And we've communicated back and forth, and some of the stuff he's already done, some of the stuff he hasn't done yet. So I'm going to kind of run through that. So whenever customers come to me with questions like this, usually what I like to do is break it down into sections, right? Usually they will kind of answer their own questions along the way. So as you notice in that email, the customer stated, I plugged into this, it didn't have a problem for so long. I plugged into this, boom, there's a problem, right? So that leads me to believe the problem's probably in that section that he was having the issue with. I let the customer know that we would first probably look at the truck. The truck is a lot simpler to deal with on that side of it. I mean, mind you, it kind of runs into the fuse block and all that stuff, but what you're looking at is a lot less. You know, look at the plug in the bed. Make sure all the connections are good. Make sure there's no loose pins.
This might have been because of the post I did on either the 7-way tester, because I shared that so that owners could purchase that. So if they just need something simple and quick to plug in the truck to make sure what's functioning, what's not. Then I also did another post where I did the 7-way tester with the terminal ends to clean the connections.
Cleaning kit, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And that's actually, I referenced that when I emailed back and forth, is to make sure corrosion builds up in those plugs. You got to have a way to test them before you go on a trip. You got to have a way to clean them. So getting one of those 7-way testers with a cleaning kit, good call.
Yeah.
I explained that to the gentleman, the plug in the bed, the plug underneath. A lot of the factory plug in the bed kits, even the aftermarkets, they usually work off of a T-harness. It's the main harness that comes in. You pull the factory, it plugs into another one. I let him know to check both of those.
Yeah. And did they use a factory T-harness?
Exactly.
Did somebody just splice into it at an older shop, or
you used to know, if they scotch locked it, butt connected it, bell connected it, of course, corrosion builds up. The customer, again, kind of leading into his own question, hey, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, it bounces around, stuff stops working. That kind of tells me that it is a loose wire or something similar. Then we move over to the trailer side, and I advise the customer, hey, check the 7-way cord in. That a lot of those are molded, and if that cord starts pulling apart at the mold there, that end or that cord has to be replaced. Water gets inside, it ruins them.
Yeah, or it's stressing the wiring and causing the connectors to contact. I also shared that in the same post or another post. I said, hey, a $10 7-way cord end. Buy one, throw it in a compartment, throw it in a glove box. If it fell out, it dragged, cut into it, you got one.
Yeah.
$10,
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's way worth it.
Yeah, worth it as on the road. Hey, I can get going. I advise the customer follow that 7-way up underneath the pin box. Most of the time there's a J box there that's exposed. You can pop the cover off of. The manufacturers a lot of times use wire nuts or belt connectors to put all those wires together. Make sure nothing's pulled out, making contact in there. I let him know kind of from that point on is where it gets more difficult. The wires will spider down underneath into the distribution box, out behind, anywhere in the coach. And that's actually going to lead us into the next part of maintenance.
Yeah.
I advise the customer, hey, you could have, if it's on the running lights specifically, when was the last time your clearance lights were sealed? If the back covers shrink, water gets behind, it could be a short directly in the light.
Something I just did too is we're still doing our What's in the Shop videos, and so we're going to be releasing 2 new ones here soon on batteries. Well, while I was underneath it looking at it, one of them was a reflection. It had resettable circuit breakers that were protected. The other one was on an Imagine, and they weren't protected. It was exposed to the weather, so it was actually getting wet and rusting and making that circuit breaker damaged.
Yep.
So checking simple stuff like circuit breakers and wiring, it's always a good idea to crawl underneath the units and see what's going on and kind of know the idea of the location of where that stuff is. So
yeah, so we kind of ended off the conversation, the customer and I, that he was going to follow through with some of those extras. He did a lot of the visuals right up front, checking the cord and checking the plug, but didn't move any further than that. But yeah, customer's going to continue on looking through. If something does come up like that, that's the number one stuff to check. Corrosion, buildup, loose wires. That's probably going to be it. More than likely, he's going to find something like that along the way. And I guess we'll see you next time on
What's in the Box. What's in the Box?
Don't click off just yet. I've linked some other videos for you to see what else is in the box and the shop.